Now, just weeks after the Strait of Hormuz reopened under a temporary ceasefire agreement, Iran is once again asserting its authority over one of the world's most important energy corridors. Iranian officials say commercial ships will eventually have to pay service fees for transiting the strait once the current 60-day toll-free arrangement expires. Now, Tehran argues the strait partially falls within its territorial waters and says the charges would cover maritime security, vessel supervision, and environmental protection. Iran has also signaled that the countries it considers friendly could receive preferential treatment, while insisting that all ships follow routes approved by Tehran. The United States rejects these claims, maintaining that the strait is an international waterway and warning that recognizing Iranian control would set a dangerous precedent. Although shipping has resumed following the ceasefire, traffic remains well below pre-war levels. Vessel movements have recovered from the conflict lows but are still far from normal, while several ships have reportedly altered course or switched to Iran-designated routes after approaching the strait. Now, despite easing oil prices in recent days, markets remain sensitive because uncertainty over Hormuz directly affects global energy supplies, freight costs, and crude prices. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev described Iran's ability to disrupt the strait as a strategic weapon comparable in impact to a nuclear deterrent.
Instead of actual nuclear weapons, Iran has found itself in possession of another weapon, one no less potent than a nuclear arsenal, the Strait of Hormuz. The strait has a complex international status, shaped by the presence of Iran on one side and Oman on the other, as well as the specific regulations governing passage through it. By blocking traffic, however, Iran has certainly demonstrated its power in this regard. Discussions are now underway and agreements are being reached concerning how the strait will operate in the future.
Now, attention is now turning to the next round of U.S.-Iran negotiations scheduled for 11th of July. Iran is seeking recognition of its authority to regulate shipping, determine navigation routes, and eventually levy transit charges after the temporary agreement expires. Washington continues to reject those demands and has warned that the negotiations could fail if Iran insists on permanent fees. Well, for major energy importers such as India, the outcome is particularly significant. Nearly 40 to 45% of India's crude oil imports and about 65% of its LNG supplies originate from West Asia, and much of it passes through the Strait of Hormuz. While India has begun rolling back emergency energy measures after maritime traffic resumed, the long-term stability of this critical trade route now depends on whether the upcoming negotiations can produce a lasting agreement.